Hello, my name is John Davis, and in this discussion, we will be examining a chapter of James P. Byrd's book, Sacred Scripture, Sacred War, the Bible and the American Revolution. Byrd divides his chapters by biblical books and personalities, and the focus of chapter 4, Teacheth My Hands to War, and My Fingers to Fight, is David, the warrior and king of Israel. Byrd, in discussing David, references David's revolutionary heroism. He writes about David in two aspects, and how those aspects were employed or accounted for in sermons and appeals during the American Revolution. As a warrior from his initial battle with Goliath, during which he faced the most feared warrior of the region with nothing but his sling, staff, and his faith in the Lord, American leaders could pull lessons for the young military. David's role as king, however, was more problematic, especially when one looked at the biblical requirements, specifically in the New Testament, to submit to legitimate authority. This becomes increasingly difficult when you look at David's response not only to the man who had falsely claimed to provide a coup de grace to a mortally wounded King Saul, and the two captains who murdered Saul's son and successor, Ishbosheth. In his book, The Complete Guide to the Bible, Stephen M. Miller recounts the biblical story from 2 Samuel 1 of how David had these men executed for killing a king in Israel. Byrd discusses how the founders turned to the loss of royal authority from within 3 generations, from David through Solomon to his son Rehoboam, and the rebellion Rehoboam's tyrannical rule engendered, which split Israel into Israel and Judah, was used with King George III taking the place of Rehoboam. They also referred to God's telling Samuel that Israel was rejecting God by requesting a king, calling royal rule itself into question. In his article, A Perfect Republic, the Mosaic Constitution in Revolutionary New England, published in the New England Quarterly, Eran Shalev discusses the potential benefits of the use of political Hebraism in the study of early America, especially given early Americans' belief that it was a chosen nation. Shalev also covers the efforts taken to justify rebellion against the monarchy and employing biblical teachings in establishing just governance. This approach helps flesh out Byrd's already substantive study. In his review of Sacred Scripture, Sacred War, Jonathan Den Hartog suggests that Sacred War is a milestone in understanding Christianity and the American Revolution. It will be necessary reading, he says, for those who hope to do further research into the American Revolution and into the long and complicated relationship of Christianity and American culture. On this I concur. Byrd gives an in-depth look at how the American founding fathers held up David as an example of faith and perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds, as well as an object lesson for flawed and fallen leadership, and provides a significant opportunity to look at biblical influence during the American Revolution. Thank you.